Hi, welcome back to my channel. Here I am sitting in front of a table of plenty. I wanted to talk to you just for a brief minute. Those of you that are watching for the first time, my name is Linda Wilson. I am from the United States, but I live in Uruguay. I have lived in Mexico and I've lived in Brazil. And I speak Portuguese and I'm learning Spanish. But I have lived about 20 years of my life outside of the United States. And so I have some things to share. One of those things is the topic of organic food. Can I get organic food? Well, other countries are not like the United States. They do not have a multitude of laws, one stacked upon another, as well, some of the countries do, but here in Uruguay, one of the things that is very true in many instances is that, well, speaking to a farmer, because we live by one who's retired from his farm now, farmers that have small crops do not use poisonous pesticides. Their food is grown in clean and good and healthy soil. And they do not add that stuff. They don't spray them. They use other things to take care of the bugs. They'll put nets over. They'll do all sorts of things. And we eat pretty good fresh food. Now, I'm not sure that some of the food is labeled organic, but I'm not positive those are companies from Brazil. I'll tell you. Might be, but it doesn't matter. The point is, most things are not labeled whether they are organic or not. Okay, but the food is absolutely delicious, and it is if you're moving to a country where there is not the label organic, don't be too upset because the country may or may not have stringent laws about it. What you can do is ask the local people, where is the food grown? And like I'm in a small enough place that I've done just that. I've talked to people about that. Some places use bug spray, some places don't. So you just need to know that it isn't like the United States where there are laws for everything like that, okay? Because there aren't. Sometimes there are. But you may or may not have, in the place you're going, you may or may not have something designated as organic food. Now, we do know that the majority, the largest percentage of cattle raised for meat, pigs raised for meat, chickens raised for meat, are free range, or it's another term, and it's a good term. And I can't think of it, partly because I think I've only heard it in Spanish, but I do know that they are free range and they are not grain fed cattle. So what you're getting is meat that is, well, let's just put it this way. The meat in Uruguay is about, and Brazil and Argentina is some of the best meat in the world. And many other countries buy meat from our country and Buenos Aires. I mean, Argentina, they don't buy it in Buenos Aires, that doesn't have farm. But in Argentina and in Brazil, because the meat is some of the best in the world. And so, those of you who eat meat, some of you don't, but those of you who do eat meat, if you're in one of these three countries, you can certainly get grass fed beef and chicken and pork. You can also get lamb and a few other things that I don't eat. Okay? But I just wanted to share that. The other thing is, it's kind of nice not to have um, like nobody's putting the farmers out of business because they're privately growing and they don't have this license to do this, that, and the other thing, and they have to be registered and they can't use it for their own. And farmers can't people can't grow and sell it to their neighbors or give it to their neighbors or whatever. You can have that here in Uruguay. There's plenty of land. You want to buy a little piece of land out somewhere, you can, and you can grow your own food. Nobody's going to give you a hard time. You're going to have the freedom to do that. And it's really nice, to have the freedom. We have plants growing in our backyard too. They're not doing very well with it because it just is too crowded. We didn't transplant them soon enough, so maybe we can save some. Of all things, the tomato plants grew at like, oh, they just popped one day, and here's all these plants growing we can't even imagine. We didn't imagine that they would be like that. So we have a little big garden in our backyard. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you about organic and the cattle being ranged uh, out in the fields, folks, out in the fields. But boy, do we eat well here! I tell you, the food is so good. And when you cook it, one of the ways that you know that it doesn't have all this stuff sprayed all over it when it comes is because you really do have to buy it and then eat it pretty quickly because it's not going to last a long time. Fresh, really fresh, or well, I call organically grown. Let's say it that way. Food is it has to be eaten, and so you buy it more frequently. And that's the beauty of the farmers markets and the little uh, vegetable and fruit stands that are all over everywhere. So you don't lack for food, and you don't lack for a place to buy them. You just have to figure out where think you find the freshest things, and then you shop there, or you just go to the Saturday market and go. I don't because I teach English at that time. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're subscribed. I love it that you're here at all. So thank you so much for stopping and coming here and making me at least a part of your day today. Okay? See you later. Bye bye.